Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Veronica and I'm in my new place. Hello. I'm not fully sure about this yet, but it's a work in progress, okay? It's not even like, yeah, it's literally been a week. So I'm just happy I got everything up. In the meantime, I saw this clip and I want to talk about it because, oh my God.
So I really want kids one day.
That's beautiful.
But I don't really like kids. And I'm wondering, will it change when I have my own? Like, I'm really hoping it'll click. Because I can't afford not to like my kid if I make it.
Well, that'll be a huge catastrophe for them, most of all. 100%.
I mean, I'll fake it.
What is the thing in your heart that makes you want to be a father?
I don't know. There's something like biologically, like just like it's time. Like I see myself starting to parent. I've got a nephew that's
They call him Gayonk.
Yeah, they call me Gunk. I'm starting to give advice. I want to mentor. So that's where I'm just like, I really want kids.
I think it's beautiful.
I think I'd be a great parent. And if I'm not, I'll subsidize it to like a nanny. Right?
So, okay. And it kind of like, it pisses me off because people are out here calling child-free people selfish. And then they go around and talk about shit like this. And I want to be clear. There's a difference between being child-free and childless. Child-free are people who choose not to have children. Childless actually want to have kids, but there's something stopping them from being able to. Two very different things. I really, really hope that the rest of that conversation ended up with them saying like, hey, having a kid that you don't know you want and then just subsidizing it to someone else, maybe not the best reason to want to be a parent. I don't know who this is. I'm just using it as a jumping off point for this conversation. Why do you want to be a father? Is a really, really important question to ask. There are no more informed people about what it takes to have a child, raise a child, than people who choose not to. We have to ask ourselves all the hard questions. We have to face what we're willing to do, what we're not willing to do. We are choosing not to have children for various different reasons. The childless one are usually viewed upon with sympathy, a lot of the times pity, all those but it's unacceptable because in your hearts of hearts, you want a child, but you are just not able to. Whereas child-free is demonized because that is you, like you said, it's something biological. It's society telling you to reproduce. Sure, we do have a biological need to reproduce in order to maintain the population, but we have a higher consciousness, we have a higher consciousness that makes it so that we can make active choices on whether or not we reproduce or not, what choices we make in our lives, etc. Yes, our instincts and all of that informs a lot, but not everything. You can have a knee-jerk reaction, sure, that's your instinct, but you are able to take a breath and redirect that course of action. That is your higher brain power going on. So when people talk about, the biological clock, it's not a thing, okay? Especially also when people are talking about, you hit 30. Yeah, that's society telling you that. You're expiring. The peak fertility of when women have the best pregnancy or whatever outcome is 21. No, actually not. All I'm saying is that if you want to have kids, you feel the drive and everything, go for it. That's fine. I love that for you. Don't say, it's a biological clock, it started ticking. That is society telling you, pushing you. All of those conditioning that have been put into your head since before you were fucking born. That is them making themselves remembered. Hey, by the way, remember, you need to have a kid and be married and all of that by 30. If you don't have a kid by 30, there's something wrong with you. Like, chop chop. But getting back a little bit on point. All of this has been on point. It's just all over the place a little bit. This is a rant, okay? I am so because again, not about him, but about people like him. You call child-free people selfish, yet you are willing to gamble with a whole ass life on whether or not you like them. Who here is selfish? It ain't the people who are self-aware enough to say, I'm not able nor willing to make this a priority in my life, or I am not willing to gamble on the off chance that I will like my kids. I don't like kids. There is no guarantee that I will like my kids. They're making that conscious choice. They've asked themselves the questions. They've sat with the conditioning that we have, the societal shaming that happens, all of that. And they still say it's more important for me to not create a new life that would not be loved and well taken care of than for society to like me. And then you have like mentoring. It is a terrible mentality that he has. It is awful. It's actually horrific, because you are willing to create this entire new life because you say, oh, I want to mentor someone. Well, you can do that without having your own kid. How about you involve yourself in the community? Go coach a team somewhere. I don't know, sign up for after school study things, whatever. Involve yourself and you can mentor. You can get involved, you can coach, you can guide them, whatever. You can do all of that. Arguably, you would have more impact if you went and did that in your community than just popping out one kid and doing that with that kid. If mentoring and all of that is what you want to do, there are a million other ways than creating a child on the off chance that you will like it. And on top of that, this is very much why people say men want kids the way kids want puppies, because nowhere does he acknowledge the actual danger a woman has to go through in order to produce that life for him. Where's the acknowledgement of the years of hell you're gonna have to go through with the sleep deprivation, probably no physical intimacy between the two of you, all like the financial pressure and like all of those things, all the things you're gonna have to sacrifice and be willing to in order to make sure that that life you have created is well taken care of, has the safety provided for them, have the best ability to, like the best world that you can create for them. And that's also why I get so pissed off with people who say, which they have said to me, just have a child and see what it's like, if you like it or not. I'm like, excuse me, what? What in the world did... It pisses me off because you are just willy-nilly creating a life. I'm like, well, I'm 30 now, so I guess I now need to have a gay baby. Okay, here's a baby. I have done no financial planning. I have not made sure that I have the finances solved already. I know what it requires to, I don't know what the costs are, or in the area, what good schools are, and what I might need to do to be an involved parent to make sure that my child has the best experience. How do I speak to the child? Have I read any books about it? Have I involved myself with friends who have them? Have I gotten involved in the community to see how people navigate it? Have I made friends with people who are parents to see and hear? And you've done none of the work, yet you decide to create a life. That is selfish, because you are forcing this child into the world on the off chance that you will like it. If you keep having babies, you're most likely parentifying them or neglecting them in some way. You're putting a lot of financial stress on you, which the child will definitely notice. You are putting this child into a lot of misery because you didn't think, you didn't consider all the impacts having a child is going to have on your life. And men even less so, because men like this who are like, oh, I can just subsidize it if I don't like it, are the men who leave. It didn't turn out to be this rosy little house with a white picket fence and a dog and 2 kids and a beautiful wife that makes sure food's on the table like that every day. If it doesn't live up to whatever image he has in his head, he fucks off. And society says, yeah, that's normal. That's okay. He is the type of man to go, this was more work than I signed up for. I'm gonna bounce. Because he knows society expects the woman to stay. Because if a mother leaves her children, that is the worst thing. It is it's horrific. It's horrible. How can she? She's damaged. All the kinds of stuff. But if a man does it, well, he's a man. Can we just stop babying men? Can we stop infantilizing them? in the boys will be boys, and they're like, they can't control themselves. Yeah, they fucking can. If people like you stopped babying them and they were all actually forced to be able to learn how to take accountability and face the consequences of their own fucking actions, yeah, they would be able to control themselves. They wouldn't have to be boys will be boys. Anyway. It gets me very heated because it's such an horrific thing to do to another person. I don't hate kids. I just don't want them. When my best friend has kids or kids, I'm going to spoil the shit out of them, and if they need anything, I will be there for them. I just don't want them myself. People assume choosing not to have kids means that you hate kids. It's not. And the people who get so mad about people like me who choose not to have children and are comfortable with that. People get so triggered by it. It is actually, like, if it wasn't so fucking annoying to be on the receiving end of it, it would actually be funny. Because what do you mean it impacts you? In fact, it is actually better for you and your child if I don't. Because I still pay taxes on the off chance that I will. I am not getting any subsidies. I don't access that, which means that reaches further. I am still paying the taxes so that they get free healthcare, free dental, free schooling, free even university. And I am glad to be doing that, even if I will not make use of that in the long term, as in a child of mine will not take advantage of that, make use of that. I am so happy to be paying those taxes so that your child can use them. Which means that the whole thing regarding you being so fucking triggered is a you thing. Because you're not thinking from a perspective of, oh yeah, that's fine, but it also benefits me because then it will be a less drain on the system, which the government will have to balance, which means usually cutting the payment that goes out and the support to kids' schools, but also like sports and whatever after school activities and shit that gets sponsored by the state in order to maintain their functions, like a youth youth center that's funded by the state for taxes that I pay, and I am happy to do that. So all your frustration is something in you, and you need to sit with that and you need to deal with it, because me not having a child has absolutely no impact on you, and if it did, it's a positive one. So seeing this type of mentality put on the internet for people in the comment section like, haha, yeah, we can do it. No, absolutely not. This is not normal. This is not okay. Rather, it is normal, but it's still not okay. And it should not be normal. You are the people that makes it so that people grow up in horrible conditions with mental health issues, all these shit things. They end up in bad situations because you didn't have the wherewithal to actually sit down and make it a priority to ask yourself, why do I want a kid? How am I planning on having a kid? How am I planning on taking care of it? What happens? And this is something that I really know that people don't think about, and they really fucking need to. Let's say everything else works out. What if your child comes out and needs full-time care? Then what? A lot of people don't even consider that their child might come out and have issues that requires your attention more than it normally would. Then what? You can't go on those long trips. Your finances, the financial strain just became so much worse. All those things. You need to actually ask yourself, are you willing to take that risk? How will you manage it if that happens? How will you manage X, Y, Z if they happen? Because you cannot work, like you cannot operate on a level of, it's not going to happen to me. It always happens to you. Eventually it will. It does not happen to people who think it through and are ready. Why? Because they're ready. It's not a biological clock. It's society trying, the societal system trying and clearly succeeding in maintaining itself. And you are making sure this fucking system stays alive because you don't bother with just thinking about it. It's not that hard to just go, now why do I want a child? I'm struggling with coming up with a reason. Maybe I should consider that. Maybe I should spend some more time asking myself why I'm struggling with coming up with a reason. And I want to be so clear. That does not mean that it's automatically not have child. No, it means you just need to be more conscious about what is underneath, what is making you want to have a child. And if that is still something you want, going like, oh, it's the system. It's what's normal. It's what expected. It's what everyone around me are having kids. I feel like I still want a kid. Right? That's fine. But don't do it on default. Activate. Please. Like, have something behind your eyes. Because just asking yourself the question does not mean that the answer is gonna be no kids. If you are worried, you sitting down and asking yourself these questions and giving real answers will mean that you don't have kids. That is telling. Oh, it's a biological clock, or I want to mentor. You don't need your own child to fulfill that. Why do you feel the need to have your DNA in another person for you to be willing to mentor them, to take care of them, to care about them? Because that's also where you find these people who are like, I'm incapable of loving other children or caring for other children because they're not mine. They didn't come out of my loins, or they don't have my DNA. Therefore, you're incapable of caring about other people. I don't want children, but I am going out of my fucking way to make sure that the kids around me has a better chance at a successful, well-rounded, safe life than I did. I care so much about children that I choose not to have one, because I do not want one, and therefore I would be a terrible parent, and I would not want to put that on a child, to have to carry with them that knowing that I don't want them. I never wanted them. I had them because I had to, or I was expected to, or because I didn't think about it. I would never want to put that on a child. So yes, I love children so much I don't want them, but I am making damn well sure that the kids that exist around me are taken care of. People are around me like, oh, so you don't want children, therefore you hate children, so you want to take funding away from them? No, actually, I think that children should have more funding. I think in general, schools could have more funding, pay teachers more so that our schools become better, so that the kids get better education. Make sure that every school has the finances to provide the tools children need to study, to become more knowledgeable so that they can navigate this world better. But the irony is, it is mostly parents that want to take away funding from other kids. And I think people need to sit with that. I don't know if this guy wants to take away funding, probably not, but dude, never have kids. Like, seriously, don't have kids. And anyone who may share this mentality, please don't have kids. You need to do some growing up before you should have kids, and even then, just ask yourselves the question, all right? And that is my rant. We all survived. Isn't that lovely? Hit the like button, subscribe. As I said in the previous video, I am aiming for 5,000, so maybe help me out. Anyway, drop your thoughts and opinions down below. Be respectful. And yeah, see you next time. Bye.